Digital business cards are a business card with an NFC chip inside that take your business to the next level, from in-person to an online experience. But from the size of the chip to the thickness of the card, there's a lot of times that they just don't work. From Linq to Popl, Dot, Vice, Mobilo, and even OVOU, I'm exposing the industry and taking you through the top NFC products in terms of NFC strength so you don't waste your money on the wrong ones. I'll also include a cheat sheet at the end with my findings to help you follow along. And if you want a more in-depth comparison of the best digital business cards from landing pages, CRM integrations, and lead generation, stay tuned for the annual Ultimate Digital Business Card Comparison happening next week on the channel. And a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Linq, who was as passionate as I am to show you guys the best NFC products. But even though they're sponsoring this video, they are not filtering out my tests and my honest opinions. These are my genuine thoughts of these products. So to set the framework, it's not always clear how to use an NFC card, and many people tend to do it way too quickly before it even has a chance to appear. With these cards, you should tap and hold for a moment until the notification appears. It's not as instant as, say, Apple Pay. On an iPhone, you hold an NFC product near the top of the back of your phone, and then the pop-up notification will appear. On an Android phone, tap the back of your phone near the center, and it should launch directly into your Linq without a pop-up notification. You used to have to enable NFC on Androids, but that's kind of a thing of the past, and modern phones have it on by default. Now, I have regular calls with most of these companies, and many of them will say that they have the strongest NFC card. And maybe it's true for multiple brands, right? There could be a tie. But let's put it to the test and see how strong these products actually are. There's a variety of NFC products offered by brands, so we'll divide this by category from PVC cards, NFC stands, wearables like watches and bracelets, back of phone taps, and then a category which I'll call other items for anything else that they offer. Let me know in the comments if you want a separate video covering the metal cards from these brands, or if there's a brand that I've missed that you want included. Starting with the plastic cards, ideally these have the best chance of a strong NFC chip because it passes through the thin plastic way easier than other materials. For PVC cards, we've got Linq, Popl, Vice, Mobilo, Dot, and OVOU. We're going through each one in terms of print quality and then strength of the card. Starting with Mobilo, they provide a glossy treatment that's unlike most competitors that offer a matte finish. The finish makes it look shiny and nice from a distance that will appeal to a lot of people. Let me know if you prefer glossy or matte finish in the comments. On the back of the card, you get a standard QR code. My problem with this card is as you get up close, the print quality does look fuzzy and sort of pixelated. It's lower quality than I would have expected. Next up, we've got OVOU, and I've always been really impressed with their quality, so no surprises here. They do this foil finish that looks premium. The thin VittorTech text is a little bolder than the design, but only because it's such a thin font. On the back, you've got OVOU branding and an indicator to tap. No visible flaws, rendering is great. OVOU cards, they're never a disappointment. Next, we've got Popl, which looks nice. The design pops up a little bit, which is a nice texture. The thin font renders well, but I noticed that the print has a strange pattern to it, which you can see in some light. Something that doesn't occur on their logo or their QR code on the back. The logo colors, like the YouTube logo, also appear darker than any of the other renderings on other cards. Linq has a premium feeling card that has an overall textured feel to it, which I think is a protective layer over the card. The text and images are much crisper here, which is interesting because the same design was used for each of the custom cards in this video. On the back, you've got a custom Linq logo, but overall, no visible flaws on this one either. Last up, we've got Vice, and this one is much less crisp around the edges, but looking closely, it also has this pattern happening in the letters, and overall had trouble printing a sharp image. On the back, you get a non-branded QR code. A late entry was the Dot custom card. The card looks well printed and would have been one of my favorites, but up close you can see that the gloss layer is shifted here, making it look like a duplicate design, but otherwise it was very, very close. So overall, rating these cards where 1 is best, Dot gets 6th place, Mobilo gets 4th, OVOU gets 2nd, Popl gets 3rd, Vice gets 5th, and Linq gets 1st place. But this is only part of the equation because what we really want to know is how strong these cards actually are. Testing Mobilo, it had to get close to register. Testing OVOU, we were able to get twice the distance away for easier recognition. Dot was a little worse than OVOU. Popl seemed to be tied with OVOU in terms of distance. Vice was able to get a noticeable distance further away in all of my tests. Lastly, Linq seemed to come in closer than Vice, but still further than some of the others in my tests. So in terms of rating where 1 is best, Mobilo came in last, needing to tap closely, Popl and OVOU tied for 4th, Dot came in 3rd place, Linq came in 2nd, and Vice came in first place with the easiest tap. Next up, we've got NFC stands from Popl, Linq, and Vice. Typically placed at reception at an office, you get a clear look at your branding, a QR code, and the ability to tap with NFC to go elsewhere. Popl offered a glossy finish indicating tap or scan, a large QR code, and then a prominent Popl branding. While I think the minimalism is great, I wonder if customers would need further clarification as to where the link leads to scan. I think personalized branding would make customers more likely to tap or scan here. It's also worth noting that this is the largest of all three available. Linq offers a custom branded stand with an overall matte finish. It's narrow but feels premium. The design looks nice, followed by small indicators at the bottom with instruction. Vice offers a similar but wider option. It prints the design edge to edge with no gap and has a glossy finish on it that's more likely to show fingerprints. I do like that this one gives a clear CTA while also providing the branding. In terms of design, I give Linq number 1 with the most premium look and feel, Vice number 2 with a glossy finish, and Popl number 3 without a branded option. Now I wanted to show both the distance and how far across it reached. First, Popl appeared to get far away to tap, which is great to see. Coming in from the side, it needed to get partway in to get the signal. From the bottom, it was very easy to get the signal. From the top, it also needed to be partway down, making it seem like the NFC chip is near the QR code. Next up in my test was Linq, and they were able to tap similar distance than Popl, which was great to see from a much smaller stand. From the sides, it picked up the signal almost immediately, which was awesome. Coming in from the top and bottom, it was clear that the NFC was embedded underneath the design, which felt natural. Vice seemed to need to be the closest to get the notification to appear. Coming from the sides, Vice was able to pick up the signal quickly. From the bottom, it also picked it up almost immediately. But then coming from the top is where it got more difficult, needing to be much further down to get the signal. It's clear the NFC tag is closer to the QR code in this one. For strength, I give Linq number 1, Popl 2, and Vice number 3. Next up is our wearables section, which covers NFC bracelets and Apple Watch bands. Starting with bracelets, coming in a variety of options, Popl offers one rubber band and Linq offers two different takes, one rubber and one thinner fabric. Popl offers a similar rubber option with branding on the front, a clamp on the back. It's a very simple band, and it also offers a small QR code near the clamp. Testing the magnetic strength, it got further away than I would have expected when tapping with my iPhone. Next up, we've got the Linq fabric band, which is a very stretchy option, providing Linq branding on the front and a QR code on the other side. It's a simple and subtle band, and testing the NFC strength, this one needed to get much closer than the Popl band. Next up, we've got the Linq rubber band, with a similar design to Popl's, offering Linq branding on the front and a QR code on the back. Testing the strength, it seemed very similar to that of Popl in a two-way tie. But interestingly, they also put a second NFC chip in the other side, so you can tap whatever side you choose, which was a nice touch. For overall design ratings, I gave Popl first place with an adjustable band that feels nice and low profile. The Linq rubber band gets second with two separate NFC tags, and then the fabric band takes third place. For strength, Popl and Linq tied on the rubber bands, and the fabric band came in second place. Next up for Apple Watch bands, we've got Popl and Linq. Popl offers a band that's thinner than the original Apple Watch band, but just as comfortable. Testing out the strength, it seemed to do a decent job here. For Linq, I was surprised to see a very similar option. From look, feel, thickness, everything except the branding was exactly the same. Both are great quality, but without the branding, I wouldn't actually know which one is which. Testing the strength, it was also the same as Popl. Both design and strength are a two-way tie here. Next up, we've got keychains from Linq, Popl, and Mobilo. Popl gives a plastic tag with a thin keychain. It seems like it'll do the job, but I am concerned about breaking that chain or the plastic easily getting scratched, as this will often go right along with your keys. Testing out the strength, it appears to achieve a decent distance. Next up, we've got Mobilo, which seems to offer a more durable design than Popl, but again, a very flimsy keychain. It gives an NFC icon on the back and Mobilo branding on the front. Testing the strength, it appeared to need to be a lot closer to get the signal here. Now last up, we've got Linq, which I can already tell you is the absolute best quality by a landslide. A durable keychain that isn't going to break, and a sleek and durable design overall. Testing out the strength of this keychain, it seemed better than Mobilo, needing to get a little closer than Popl. In terms of design, Linq is first, Popl is second, and Mobilo is third. In terms of strength, Popl is first, Linq is second, and Mobilo is third. Testing out taps, we've got two options, dots and back of phone. Starting with the dots, we've got Vice, Mobilo, Popl, and Dot Classic and Dot Thin. Vice seemed to be a very simple design that was plastic and thin, also one of the smallest dots. You needed to tap closely for this one to work. Mobilo offered a similar design that was slightly larger. Testing the strength, it was similar to Vice. Popl offered a flatter design, but was also a little thicker. It also offered a QR code. This one was able to tap from a further distance, which was great to see. For Dot, the classic is like the others we've seen, but the Thin is a flat and much lower profile. The classic tap needed to tap very close to get the signal, and I found a very similar story actually with the Thin version. From a design standpoint, Popl was nicest, Dot was second with their Thin option, and then it was a three-way tie between the others. For strength, Popl was first, and a four-way tie for second place. For the larger back of phone taps, we've got Linq, Popl, and Vice. Linq offered the smallest option that was also very thin and felt flimsy, though the goal here is to have something thin considering you're putting it on the back of your phone and maybe fitting it within a case in some cases. I think the QR code and design should have been shifted more to the center instead of the custom design going right to the edge. Tapping this one needed to be close to get the signal. Next up we've got Popl, which was a very thick but also very premium feeling option. It also includes the design and a centered QR code that looks nice. This one could also be tapped further away than Linq. Last up we've got Vice, which was medium-sized and didn't include a QR code. It was also thin like Linq. This had to be tapped from a similar distance to Linq. For design, I would say Linq offered the thinnest and smallest design and a QR code. Popl came in second with a thicker design, and then Vice came in third. For strength, Popl was first, and a two-way tie for second place. So last up we've got additional items which really include Linq badges. This is thin and premium feeling badges that you can clip with a lanyard. It has a QR code on the front and a very minimal back. You can also tap this badge from far away, which is great to see. Next up, we've got the Badge XL, which is much larger in size, and I actually really like this thing a lot. This one could be tapped from much farther away, like that of the NFC stand, which was really cool. I really like this product. It's probably one of my favorites. We've reviewed a lot of products, so to better follow along, I provided a matrix that summarizes the ratings given for each strength in each class. For shipping times, I measured the time it took to ship the custom card for each brand. Linq took just 2 days to get the card, while Dot had the longest delay at 58 days. For strength, it varied a lot, with Popl coming in first for the most, but Vice having the best PVC card, Linq having the best NFC stand, a two-way tie for the best bracelet, Popl having the best watch band, Popl having the best keychain, and the best back of phone. In terms of quality, Linq consistently came in first place, except where it tied with Popl on NFC stands and watch bands. In terms of number of products per brand, Linq had the largest offering shown in this video, if you include the badges, followed by Popl, and this is important because ideally you want to pick one company and stick with them for all of your products. And finally, the overall best choice from a combination of all of these ratings is Linq, with the highest quantity, fastest shipping, and best quality. Let me know in the comments which brand you're sticking with and which products you're thinking about picking up. If you want to see more that compares landing pages, CRM integrations, and other features, then check out my upcoming Ultimate Smart Business Card comparison video that does a deep dive on all of that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.